All right, so we are here with the finals of the Chaos Cube. I am joined by Sean Adam, who we've seen on stream before. Sean, have you played against any of these decks before? Have anything you want to say about them before we get started?
Yeah, I played against Connor's lovely deck of Obstagoon. Turns out it just blocked half my deck. I was like, oh well, I can't beat this. That seems good.
Yeah, there's definitely
Uh,
nothing bad about just saying your opponent can't play the game. So
I've actually seen both these decks. I did comment on Davi's deck, and I played against Connor's deck. And from what I've seen, their decks have interesting plays with one another. Like my deck was just completely walled by Connor's deck for the most part. However, Davi's deck has some other plays that can block Connor's plays. So the Obstagoon is his main attacker in Connor's deck, which blocks basics from doing damage to him. However, he has Davi has a Celebi that has Time Circle, which prevents stage ones and stage twos from doing damage to it. So it can be an interesting kind of maneuver around there.
Time Circle is really good, especially if your opponent misplays into it, like I did.
Yeah, the ability to just attach energy is also really strong. The other thing we're going to see is Davi has a Vesequin in his deck, and we haven't really seen it been utilized fully yet, but it's definitely a threat, and it's definitely there. So
Yeah,
we
the
see Davi gone first, I believe.
yeah, I guess so. Well, I'm not sure. It looks like Connor's going first here.
Connor goes strong with a Misty's Wrath.
He was so torn to draft it, and now look at him.
I look at him; it's only milling him ever slowly. All right, now it's going to Davi's turn. Davi has four basic energy, a Sky, and a Luxury Ball. The Sky can get him
Okay.
a couple of turns, but if he can't pick it up the pace up quickly enough, he could just outright lose right here.
Yeah, the luxury ball is at least a good pickup because he is worried about probably getting benched, but now he is going to be able to get something online. It looks like the EV can evolve into Leafeon the next turn up, or is he going to Cleffa? Looks like you're
He's
going to Cleffa
going into
here.
Cleffa. Luckily, the Combi does resist 20 damage off fighting, so there's no way the Marowak that shows up can kill it in one hit. But
Yeah.
all right, he's attaching, retreating into the Cleffa, and he's going to Eek. It looks like.
Yep, eke the hand away. I guess we haven't really seen a supporter from him. Scott probably isn't. There's not really a lot of good hits, I guess, for the Scott right now, if he's planning on pitching the hand. So
Oh well, Scott came back along with Chaos Gem. I would, if I were in his shoes, I probably would have went for the Luxury Ball onto Eevee like he started to begin with, and I would have played Scott for the Chaos Gem because I think Chaos Gem shuts Connor's deck off pretty significantly. He has a lot of really powerful trainer cards, and that it's really risky to give Davi an Elm for free, which is pretty strong.
yeah, especially when you don't have much going on. Like, I like the chaos stuff. It's such a, I mean, it's just such a demoralizing card too because you're basically just preventing your opponent from playing the game, which it's kind of the antithesis of Chaos Cube. It's definitely adding a lot of nuance and crazy plays happening here. But I guess I'd be over here
And we see
valuing
Connor
getting a new hand.
And we see Connor missing the fighting energy, so there's no
Ooh,
bone windmill or sharpshooting today.
unfortunately not. It looks like that.
And another thing, for those in the stream, Professor Elm lets you shuffle your hand your deck and draw 7. However, you can't play trainer cards, so you can't play another supporter or any kind of other trainer cards. Period.
Yeah, so interesting to note the difference there. It looks like Davi drew into the evolution for the combi as well as the Scott again. So it's kind of like just got a upgraded hand from where he was before.
The only downside is he has no energy in play right now, so it's
Yeah,
definitely a
that's
slow
true.
build.
Luckily, Vesto can only text for a few energy, and so is the Metrodome Cliff Fable. So although he has to hope he hits tails on this E here because I would plan on Connor missing energy that many more turns. But we'll have to see. Should be interesting.
He's got 2 of his line toppers in his hand right now, but evolving them right now, he might want to hold off because if he can capitalize more off Vesequin, evolving the Clefable might be the wrong option. But it's always good to have that. All right, we see a Zangoose come down too. I talked about this card previously. Zangoose is very strong, preventing it from being affected by special conditions, and it can bring things up to stall out turns, which I think Connor has an Octillery. With that would be very nice to stall up while he builds his board. And there's it is. There's the Chaos Gem for the Chaos Cube.
In the Chaos Finals. It's all here. It's all
Oh,
coming
you get
together.
heads off the Eek. That might be bad. However, he is slowing down Connor, so Connor has no stadium in hand. So there's no way he can get around this.
And
He's
no
attempting the
fighting
Lunettes, and he
energy.
hits the head. What a sack. Hold on, what a lucky guy.
So he's not going to be able to still attack this turn, right? Because the Lynette's not going to necessarily net him a and well, it's not going to allow him to get into an energy card. But I guess this is still good. He has the whole obstacle line in his hand, so he's going to be able to start evolving into those Pokemon, as well as probably high, if he can, maybe Holland Scientist later on, which could be nice. We are seeing the Dialga grab here. That's interesting.
Yeah, the only thing that he could have possibly grabbed off Lynette to make him attack would be a Holon's cast form, but it is a 1 over the cube, and it was very sought after.
Yeah, I think it actually ended up in my pool, so I know for sure he does not have it. We are seeing the
Right,
Dialga here. That is interesting. That has a very good ability.
That's the best part about Chaos Cube. There's everything's a 1/1/1 line, and if you don't like a card, just take it. Don't let him play it. There you go, easy.
Do we know if Connor has any energy in his discard pile? Because this reverse time Dialga could actually put in some work.
The one thing he has as target properly right now is just a Frogadier, and it doesn't seem like it's going to do much for his deck.
Interesting. So maybe that's great later. Whenever if he loses energy, he can use the Dialga to recover a little bit from his discard, which is nice. Without having to play a supporter.
I could definitely see him letting the Marowak get knocked out, and then playing it down to bring it back, and then attack with the Gallade. We see Davi retreat into Leafeon, presumably just trying to get the easy prize.
Yeah, the energy drought that Connor's in is definitely not great, especially because now this Leafeon's online is going to be putting a lot of pressure on him to try to find something. He draws the Roller Skater too, which I don't think is a card he necessarily wanted to see in this position.
No, Roller Skater is not that great in this hand right now. However, we do see he has he has 2 supporters in hand that are just they're awkward with his hand right now because he has his Line Topper, a Dialga, and a Palpet. And Hold On Scientist can net him a couple of cards, but what do you discard off his hand? It's really risky. If he could just discard Obstagoon and then go in Dialga, put it back on top, but
and that's saying even if he gets to discard, he could very well
even if he gets to do it, he might just flip Tails on Hold On Scientist.
Yeah, which would be a feels bad for sure.
I do think Davi recognized this, and he's just going to go full aggressive with the Leafeon. The EXP share is actually a detriment to Connor right now because as soon as he knocks his Marowak out, the energy has to go back on, preserving that 40 damage done.
Yeah, that Leafeon is a very, very frightening card because it's just saying, okay, well, while you're not doing anything and I'm setting up, I'm just going to be threatening your board with pretty much really substantial chip damage for all things considered. Mm-hmm. Like, especially considering the Pokemon's HP he has in play, the 40 damage is pretty good, and he's not able to get out a hunch. He's actually discarding the what's it called? The Obstagoon.
Did he flip?
Did he flip for?
I think I missed the flip. Okay, he did flip. Okay, well, he's hitting the heads. He's on a roll here, people.
I guess he's basically just trying to get into something to get him out of this board state. I guess you can't really play chicken forever. He also does have the Dialga, like I said, so he can discard this Obstagoon pretty freely and recover it, as well as the Greninja too. So, not a bad call at all.
So this is pretty good, but also the problem is Dialga lets you put it on top of your deck, so in any order. So I guarantee he went into Obstagoon to draw into it, and he went to Frogadier. However, that means he has 2 turns where he's not drawing energy or a supporter, and he's stuck with this hand. So he's just going to see how well this Gallade Level X is going to work out for him and see if he can just take care of business with it.
Well, what's nice too is that the Obstagoon also KOs the Cleffa, so that's a free prize pretty much on board whenever he wants to take it.
I think if I were Connor here, I would probably just ping the Vespiquen and start chopping up and see where I can get, because the Cleffa will just die from the Gallade's Blade Storm and then 2 chop ups, and that will be
that's true
the knockout there.
So you have quite a few options. So you could set up knockouts on with only 5 prizes. It generally changes things, changes tempo a little bit too. So
there is one downside in this hand is Connor has Super Scoop Up, which in any scenario would be, if I hit tails, whatever. If I hit heads, I get to do my Zigzagoon again or do my Gallade again. But here, if he hits tails and that Cleffa is not dead yet, Davi could attempt flip it and then just pick it up and then prevent another knockout.
Yeah, and it would be completely free for Davi to do so. So yeah, it's kind of rough. I don't actually know how many stadiums Connor plays to be able to bounce this Chaos Gem, or how long we're really looking at this to be in play.
Yeah, he didn't play one against me, so I'm not quite sure.
Stadiums are a weird card to draft in this cube, because especially with all the pressure put on you to draft Pokemon, they aren't exactly first picks in a lot of situations. So it can be a situation where your opponent might just not have a way to deal with Chaos Stadium or Chaos
Yeah,
Gym.
I do know that he does play Windstorm because he played it on me immediately, and
Mm.
that was unfortunate. But
So we are going to see
that's if
the
that's his only out, then Chaos Gym is free to roam.
knockout on the Cleffa here, and he's going to evolve into like a lay level X. So at least he's setting up something. His board's looking a little bit better. Um, yeah, I mean,
So he drew an energy off the prize. That's pretty crucial there. All right, he's
oh
just
yeah,
going. He's going to go for the feint.
definitely good to
Or he
see.
might
So
just be attaching to retreat effectively. All right, we see the feint. The feint is definitely so here. There's a few plays that he could do. He could either try to. Oh, he does have Frogadier on top of his deck. He might be going for the attach on the Frogadier, knock out the Levion, and then deal damage to whatever comes up inactive.
yeah, and that could work too, especially considering gets him another prize, but helps him out his bad hand. He would like to get into that Greninja too later on.
The only problem is for every attacker, for every Pokemon he puts in that discard, the more powerful the special one gets. All right, we see the Frogadier come up, taking the second prize of the game. So he drew
See,
an item
item
finder off it.
finder, which is probably the worst card he could play right now because it is a uh discard in your hand, and maybe not even getting the the card to not even get to play the card you grab. So probably
His
holding on
only
that.
real target would be Guzma, and if he flips tails, Davi's in for a treat because he could just grab that Dialga or even the Obstagoon and just have some fun turns.
Yeah, I'd imagine Sleight wouldn't want to give him a Guzma here. He's setting up the Clefairy, so I guess he's basically hoping. And okay, now we see this
Oh
go come out.
no!
Oh, this is what we were talking about before, where if Davi hits heads on the scoop up, he's gonna be able to pick up something on his board.
Now it's just questionable. Oh, he hit heads. Oh, what is he going to pick up? I wonder. He picked up that. So I'm curious why Davi decided to promote the Clefairy because it just gives him a free prize.
Yeah, he does get to use aim cut here to take a free prize, and
But I
unless
bet he's just powering up his B revenge, and that's probably a reason to try to go through the rest of the game because I guess he understands that his hand's not that great. Connor's if he's only playing kind of weak supporters and he's only had like one energy to attach. So I think he's just gonna go with the full Vesquin route and just try to ram through. But if that option gets powered up, I mean, that'd be over for the Vesquin.
it would be, and yeah, the only benefit on Davi's side too is that this Chaos Jam is very, very much slowing Connor down from actually doing anything. Although his hand is not still that great, even Chaos Jam wasn't in play. So, but this Vesquin to get a knockout here is going to be very, very scary. Did he need the
It
Clefairy
really
to get
depends on
knocked
what
out?
Connor can top deck here.
Did he need the Clefairy to get knocked out to deal with this play?
I believe he did because all he had was Meganium, Cleffa, and oh no, he actually didn't. He had enough damage without the
Interesting.
Clefairy. So I wonder maybe he's just an oversight. I
Maybe
would see the Dow to be
maybe
promoted.
maybe he couldn't retreat into anything, so this is probably maybe.
So this Octillery is actually crucial.
Wow, great card to pick up here. He is just gonna play the roller skater. Can I guess he was hoping he could just hit tails to burn it, but
So that's actually interesting. If I were in Connor's shoes, I might have just played the Pal Pad first, and if it hit tails, Davi doesn't really have like a important target, and then I could do Octillery for more. All right, we see Dark Claw go on to the Obstagoon. Obstagoon's probably the strongest attacker in this cube.
so did he just discard roller skater just for the out of the effect, or
If more of he probably just played it because it doesn't really net him anything at all. If he dropped it, if he hit tails, it would be Davi gets to draw 2 and it's whatever,
oh, you know what?
or maybe 4.
I was
And
confusing
if
the
not, it's
effect.
still -1 card. But he had the Octillery, so the Octillery allows him just to drop to 5.
I was confusing the effect for engineer's adjustments for a second.
Let's see.
So no, he's
It looks
definitely
like
fine. I thought you had to discard an energy, but no, you can just discard a card.
Yeah, roller skaters is if you discard energy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a great supporter, but I mean, in this situation, it's fine. Like,
On a side note, we'd like to divert your attention to another game that's went on. Zach Kreckler, our best friend, has flipped 9 tails off a Speed Stadium.
oh my gosh, we saw him flip 6 heads on his previous game against Speed Stadium, so that's
All
impressive.
right, he hits tails off a netball. I wonder if Connor, if it would be cute if Connor had a grass energy or something. It does look like he's a target for that. It's definitely an interesting board state because basically Connor is stuck without energy. If he doesn't draw it, he might be in trouble. But he doesn't have enough like cards in his hand to removed the auxiliary draw. It all comes down to the Obstagoon can attack this turn after this Be Revenge, presumably knockout. Another thing Davi could do is somehow get this Infernate powered up and then just start wailing on it.
Yeah, that is
Split bombing
definitely
with that
something.
Valgan active would stall out pretty convincingly.
I don't know. He hits the heads on the traitor. It's funny.
I wonder what he's going for.
I'm not sure. I wonder too. We'll have to find out. He's going for the
Oh,
Celebi.
he needed the Celebi. He said, "Bring Obstagoon on," but he doesn't have really any other energy to target it with. So
Maybe, yeah. I'm interested to see where he wants to go with this. Of course, he doesn't know that Connor's hand is fairly dead. Well, it is until it isn't, I guess.
yeah, the thing is, oh, he went for intelligence gathering. That's actually a really smart play from
Oh,
Davi.
very smart. Yeah, being able to
He
draw
shows the
cards.
Bayleaf because it came back. Looks like he didn't shuffle the Bailey back in his deck. Oh, yeah, it looks like he did not shuffle the Bailey back in his deck, but he drew into it.
Yeah, that's fine. He can shuffle it.
All right, but he drew into a Toxicroak G, and the Toxicroak G would be good in a lot of scenarios, but Obstagoon is A, not weak to fighting, and B, it's immune if it attacks with this.
Yeah. The
See the heads
intelligence
up
gathering was
shot.
definitely a good play on his part. Uh, yeah,
Very strong.
I guess we're seeing you just play into the Chaos Gym right now and just see what you can do. And not playing too timid, just trying to get. Because I guess if you don't play these cards, you are running out of hurting yourself at a certain point. So
Well, it's very important to note that Connor's been playing really low risk supporters at this time that have been really useful for him.
right, so you wouldn't necessarily
If
give
he
your opponent
played,
a Guzma or anything, like definitely not. But playing
yeah,
cards like that
if he
are
played
good.
Roller Skater, Davi would draw two. It would be whatever. If he played Sycamore in his hand, he could just get Davi a whole new hand, and he wouldn't have to intelligence gather in that turn.
Right.
All right, we do see the Obstagoon's now fully powered up, and that can lead to a lot of issues here.
Yeah, Obstacle
Oh,
definitely
we
the
see the retreat.
scariest card in Connor's deck. Just being able to, block basic damage, and also that 90 damage on such a big Pokemon can be very, very scary.
And it's effectively it can do 130 damage if you just evolve from Goon and then go into Obstagoon, and then you've already got so much damage set up. And we see a time circle, and this is a very good play by Davi because now this Dial's still stuck. There's no way this Dial can progress off this board, and as soon as he knocks it out, the Obstagoon is basically useless, which means Davi has to. Connor has to promote like the Zorua to attack. He can't attack with anything else.
Yeah, it's true. He's in kind of a weird spot here because he doesn't really have a way to. This Celebi has been very, very scary because the time circle is just such a good attack, especially because everything needs to evolve. Tails on the Pal Pad, so Davi's gonna have a chance to utilize it if he wants to.
I don't really see Davi having to do that. I think he's pretty much safe without grabbing Scott or Holomentor. They're not that good of cards. It looks like he is going to go for it, though.
I guess he's figured might
Curious
as well
why he
have more
does that.
resources. Well, maybe figures he has more resources. I probably
Luckily,
agree.
the new Palpad print is up to 2, so he doesn't have to put the Mentor back in his deck. But Scott, he might have a plan for Scott. He might be trying to get it to grab Lusamine to keep Lusamine Chaos Gym, and that would shut Connor off pretty substantially.
Yeah, especially if he can bounce the Chaos Gem and then recover it, have it for next turn. If he wants to do some sort of blitz turn. Tails on the Lookers as well. The nice thing, well,
That's pretty strong.
oh man, so we could actually see.
Oh,
The important to note with Chaos Gem is that if you are playing a supporter and it does fail, it does not count as your supporter for turns. So, I don't know if Connor would want to play the Sycamore, but if he wanted to, he definitely could.
So it looks like Davi is either going to shuffle his own hand and draw 5, or he's going to have Connor shuffle his hand and
What
draw
an
5. And if I were
interesting.
Davi, I probably wouldn't have Connor shuffle. I'd want him to take that chance and see if he hits the Sycamore or the Wally or whatever. All this benefits him. So if I were Davi, I might just go for my hand. And he does. He does just go for his hand.
Yeah, which I think is fine. His hand wasn't particularly great anyway.
Oh, and he hits the tails on Wally too.
I don't think, and Davi doesn't have any targets, so you can't wally out a Infernape level X. So,
It's okay. He'll go on to Celebi Break. A hypothetical card.
yeah, right. The Celebi Break level X VMAX. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that was my favorite part about Greninja Mirror. Someone would play Evo Soda and they say, "You have no targets." It's like, Starmie Break, duh.
Yeah, of course. It might be in there. It might not be. Who knows?
And we just see the time circle stall. This is really what Davi's playing it right.
Yeah, I don't
It goes for the
actually.
abyssal hand. The other trainer, there are. This is not looking good for Connor.
Yeah, it's funny that his deck revolves around basics not hitting him, but then Davi's deck is like, well, now your evolved Pokemon can't hit me.
Actually, that's the interaction I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, very interesting. I could have seen saving some of these ping effects for the Celebi.
He's definitely probably going to grab the Cubone, which you do see. But I believe he's just dropping all this to either just kind of force Octillery because he needs to draw energy. He needs to draw some other things because the time circle will just demolish him. I'm not sure if Connor actually plays any basic attackers. I know I saw he had his basics that he attacks with, but nothing like substantially like different.
Yeah, the
Nothing that can
Zigzagoon,
take care of this.
the Zigzagoon would have been his best basic to attack with, since you can do the damage counter and it does 30. It would effectively help get through the Celebi. I don't actually know what other attackers he has available to him. The Sarua is probably his best bet right now. I mean, it's only the option at this point besides the Cubone, but the Cubone just gets KO'd by time circle, so hard
The
to
only thing he
say.
has to actually it doesn't has 70 HP.
Oh, I
The only
see.
thing he can wait for is keep drawing until he gets that Gallade again, and then the Gallade can solve the problem. But
Do we know how
yeah,
many
after that,
prize
the
cards Davi is looking at right now?
Davi has 3 currently,
Ah, I
and
see. Okay. So he has a little bit of
Connor was
time.
taking a really strong lead here, and now it's turned on him completely.
We
Here he
see
goes for the
that,
paralyzing gaze. That's going to be pretty crucial, honestly.
yeah, if he can paralyze and gaze for this Celebi to not attack for another turn, that would be really good for then going into Obstagoon the following turn. And then we're back to our regularly scheduled Obstagoon program.
And yeah, Davi doesn't have enough Pokemon in it to take care of that Obstagoon. So if the Celebi gets knocked out, it's pretty bad.
I feel like
And also, Davi has
games.
no way to pop the Chaos Gem either.
I feel like games in this cube are won and lost on a dime. We've seen some really close board states flip flop just because one or two cards. So really interested to see how that interaction goes. He goes into the Zorg here. Interesting.
I bet he's going for Nasty Plot to get the Gallade.
It could very well be the case here. Definitely not a bad play.
But
Nasty Plot's
I don't think I think over Connor I would have definitely gone for the Paralyzing Gaze. There's not much to lose from it.
yeah, especially because he can't. If he wants to knock out that Zerua with your with the Vespiquen, that's great. You'd love that to happen. So you could just go in with
Currently,
your
there's
other.
nothing Dobby can respond with the Obstagoon with. So if it comes down the Nasty Plot and he just grabs, let's see what he's grabbing. It looks like did he fail the search?
No, I doubt he would have failed the search.
I'll say he grabbed a Darkness Energy. It's interesting. There's some interesting plays going on. I wonder if Connor has a plan to deal with the Celebi.
He's almost locked into not being able to deal with the Sylvie, so I hope there's some way in his deck.
Cubone's not enough. Cubone can get a 2-hit knockout, but then he could just promote Infernape and spread damage. If he spreads enough damage on the Obstagoon, he could just take care of it. See an
Maybe his
attachment
plan.
to the
Ooh,
Frogadier.
maybe his plan is to go into Greninja to knock this out.
There it is. There's the Greninja.
So maybe
Greninja says has an attack called Bring Down. It says if the Pokemon has at least has if a Pokemon that has at least as much HP remaining, except for that Pokemon, except for this one, of course, you can knock it out. So basically, anything that's high HP on Davi's board, he can just knock out. Or I'm sorry, with least HP. So
which
he's
would
probably gonna go
be
for the knockout on the Celebi here.
yeah. So that might be his way to deal with the Celebi and keep a very strong stage 2 in play with free retreat as well. So he can just go into Greninja, then go right into Obstagoon and probably clean up a lot of this game.
Yeah, if I were Davi here, I would probably have to just go into Infernape immediately and just preserve. He does grab a U-turn board. He might try to attach his Celebi to preserve the energy. It doesn't really matter because he has Force Breath, but I would definitely escape this and go into Infernape. If he had some way to disrupt Connor's hand, that'd be really strong here. But yeah, looks like the
I
Greninja's
think
going to
the
take a
problem
knockout.
is too is that he has to hit heads on so much stuff to actually disrupt him. But that's in the flip side of Chaos Gym.
Yeah, the downside of Time Circle is that it does not prevent effects of attacks like a lot of other
Yeah.
stronger Pokemon that block it.
super good plan on Connor's part for realizing that. This is definitely a more guaranteed way of getting in through there. Also prevents prizes from being taken. So I mean, Davi could definitely take the prize if he wants it. I don't think he wants to sacrifice his best to Quinn. So
It looks like he's just gonna keep the pressure going.
yeah.
All right, here comes the Greninja.
Does that ruin this play for him? Does that knock out the Zork? The Zork has 40.
It does knock out the Zoroark. Wait, yeah. It says yeah, at least HP except for this Pokemon. Hold on, boys.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Unless I'm missing something, which I might well be, but
That would be the biggest misplay. Oh, he used Miss Slash. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, folks. We can't hear them talk.
oh, and the other effects. Oh, I see. So he used
Yeah.
the Mist Slash. Even better. Uh, that definitely was this up to Celebi that we were trying to figure out.
All right, well, Best Quinn is up now, and I don't really see a way Davi wins this game now.
Yeah, this looked very strong for Davi, but then like the Greninja came online, and it seemed like it was it got a lot tougher. I don't think he has enough Pokemon in the discard pile to knock out the 130 HP Greninja with the best of
Nope.
The problem being is that attack is going to get very it's going to be very annoying to deal with as longer it goes, and as well as the Obstagoon's just chilling in the back. Probably who he's going to attack with next turn, since it takes out any Pokemon on the field. Although we could just see him just Miss Slash if he goes in with something like the Infernape or something.
It looks like Davi is revealing his discard. I believe he might be in the concession of conceding here. Connor's revealed a VS Seeker.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that that this means that Davi has conceded. Just based on the board state as well. I don't really think there's a lot of tricks that Davi has at this point besides Chaos Gem sticking, and that has proven out to really be an issue. So,
Just strong flips off Connor. If he flipped tails on that Flower Shop play, we might have been in a different game because he wouldn't have been able to get the Zoroark back. But
yeah,
strong game on both people's end. I mean, they didn't. No one seemed to play it wrong. It's just that Greninja showed up and it wreaked havoc.
yeah. So I guess Sleight would be the winner here at this game. So definitely. I mean, this game's been super cool to watch. There's lots of really weird plays you have to make to really navigate. The Chaos Gym itself has created such an interesting aspect to it that while I don't always enjoy playing against it, it has created something to really change how the matchups has really gone. Sean, any other thoughts before we sign off here?
All I can say is Galarian Obstagoon, very strong. I would avoid it. If you were playing this cube in the future, I would try to either play it or take it away from someone. And of course, as always, Chaos Gem, very strong card.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that they're probably finished here, so I think that's gonna cut for this game. We're gonna come back with the finals after, or the we're gonna talk to Connor, ask him how he felt like his deck was and any thoughts on the cube. So stick around, we'll be right back with our just conclusion part of this.